Thank you very much for that tasty tease, Carla Turner. It is 8 o'clock. Thanks for joining us here on this Tuesday edition of Breakfast Television as we take a look at this morning's top news headlines. And we are just moments away from a major political shakeup in Ottawa. Foreign Affairs Minister John Baird set to address Parliament at any moment to say he is resigning his portfolio. And Conservatives close to the long-serving minister say he will not seek re-election as an MP. Now, there's plenty of speculation as to what his future might hold. Many believe he's moving into the private sector after 20 years of public service in both provincial and federal politics, and we will let you know about that resignation as soon as it is official. Meanwhile, closer to home, a school bus driver is dead following a horrific crash that left several students injured in northwestern Alberta. The bus collided with a semi north of Grimshaw Monday morning. It's believed the bus allegedly crossed the center line into oncoming traffic. A 60-year-old bus driver died on the way to hospital. 14 students were on the bus at the time, aged between 8 and 18. One of those students, along with the 36-year-old semi-driver, flown to hospital in Edmonton with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. School officials tell City News that they are bringing in counselors for students and staff at several schools across the region. An alarming number of drivers are still speeding through school zones in our city. More than 1,000 tickets doled out last Monday for drivers going too fast. That's 4 times higher than the average daily. Speed limits were dropped in school zones to 30 kilometers an hour last fall, but despite several months, police say that it doesn't appear that the drivers are getting the lesson.
Speeding is still prevalent in the areas of schools, and it's a little alarming that we're still seeing this after the fact that the school zones have been in place now for 4 or 5 months.
If people don't want us to do enforcement, then they should slow down to begin with. And if they're not prepared to slow down, we have no choice but to do the enforcement.
Police say they will continue to do work to try and find ways to curb speeding in school zones. A pedestrian hit by a snowplow last week has died. 39-year-old Claudia Trindade was struck. She was in a marked crosswalk at 134th Avenue and 113A Street Wednesday night. The driver of the plow has worked with the city for more than 20 years, currently off work. Charges have not been laid at this time. This is the 3rd pedestrian fatality of the year. A grieving daughter is asking the man accused of hitting her elderly mother in a crosswalk to own up to what he did.
If it were me, I would be just an absolute slave to the community to try and fix what I broke.
77-year-old Agnes Morgan was crossing 156th Street when she was hit by a truck. She was killed nearly 2 years ago to the day. The accused, Siva Kumar Devaraja, pleaded not guilty to impaired driving causing death, with the blood alcohol level over 0.08 causing death.
I want him to even know what he did, because at the moment he still thinks that he's got a chance. I don't understand how somebody can even have 2 beers and not realize that they can't drive, The
trial is set to resume tomorrow. Well, the Crown calls it a story of drugs, betrayal, and alleged murder. Jury trial continuing today for the man accused of killing his alleged former dealer. John Jarrett on trial for first-degree murder in the death of Valentine Degenhart. It's believed that Degenhart sold marijuana to the accused. He was last seen in Barrhead in July of 2013. His wife telling the court yesterday the last time that she saw Degenhart alive, he was on his way to visit Jarrett. The trial slated to last several weeks. An Edmonton tech company says dash cams are doubling in popularity. A recording device gaining tons of attention when drivers in Japan and Russia posted their footage online. Many people say they bought the cameras to avoid police fraud and insurance scams. Though these issues are rare in Edmonton, police are still using them to ensure they have that extra safety precaution. Now, AMA Insurance says it won't help improve your rates, but could help your chances in court.
They certainly could use the evidence of a dash cam, and the test of that evidence would be the same as any other kind of evidence, which is, yes, you have demonstrable, observable physical evidence.
They've gotten a lot more popular. We've started carrying a much wider variety. When we first started out, we had maybe 2 models, but it's grown quite a bit to about 10 different options.
Well, just like the name implies, they are recording devices that sit on your dashboard. They retail between $80 to $200. Our premier is in the midst of a 4-day trip to Washington, and Jim Prentice says while the Keystone Pipeline is a big topic, he's not there to insert himself into the political dynamic that's taking place between the president and the U.S. Congress.
I'm just here to make sure that the facts are straight, and I think that the integrated nature of the energy economy, Alberta's relationship with the United States, the facts need to be clear, as do the facts relating to Alberta's environmental performance.
Prentice says he expects the president to veto the pipeline, but adds that he then believes it will eventually be reattached to another bill to be approved by the president this spring. Today, Prentice is slated to meet with members of Congress. He'll be giving a keynote address to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce tomorrow. Edmontonians being encouraged to be aware of their surroundings in the kitchen, specifically as it pertains to Burn Awareness Week. Officials are reminding people about the proper way to put out small kitchen blazes without burning themselves. Experts recommend using LED light candles instead of the traditional flame to lower the risks of burns.
We really want to promote the fact that there's so many little things that we can do to prevent burns and make sure that everybody's taking the time and possibly changing a few things that they do in their daily lives to make sure that they prevent as much as they can. Make the effort to go.
Any burn you receive that makes you worried should receive immediate medical attention.